Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of How to Medium Well with me, your host, Medium Adelita. And today we are going to interview Terese Shanley. So I'm just waiting for her right now. Oh, here she is. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can now. I can now. How are you?
I'm so good. I just had lunch with my husband. I went picked up Rubio's and brought it to him.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I appreciate you doing this for me. Terese actually is from Colorado. I met her about a month ago, was it, in Scottsdale?
Hmm.
And she's an amazing light. And I asked her to come on and to do an interview. And it's called How to Medium Well, but I'm interviewing different psychics and mediums and basically just intuitives and kind of getting, just your take on your gifts and things like that. So I appreciate you. Welcome. Tell us a little bit
Thank
about
you.
yourself.
Well, I started out as a healer as an RN BSN, and then I went through my own awakening and started taking yoga and doing meditation, and then I started teaching yoga and meditation and got certified. And then the certifications just didn't stop. I was just an endless hunger and meditated every day for an hour. And flash forward, after four daughters, I was ready. After I stopped working as a nurse, I literally heard spirit say, open your own healing practice. And I had all, life coach certified, Reiki master teacher, an angel intuitive. And I said, right on. And I started doing raindrop therapy sessions. And then as I was doing that, I was doing the Reiki, and then intuitive information started coming through, and then mediumship started coming through. And yeah, it's just been my life's pleasure. That's been my favorite thing to do ever, besides being a mama.
Well, that is so wonderful. So around what age did your journey begin? Do you remember?
Um, let's see. My spiritual journey started in 2000. I was a little over 30. Probably like 30, maybe 34. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you kind of realize then, and you, like you said, you had that hunger and you kind of realized you just wanted more and more. That's amazing. I have a question. I've never heard of raindrop therapy. What is that? I'm
Yeah,
intrigued.
it's great. No, it's great. It's so Young Living, that's those are the oils. And the person that started Young Living started this treatment that really had to do with like the Northern Lights and Native Americans, and it was using just succession of oils, about nine oils, and doing massage, effleurage, spine, and then doing something called Vitaflex on the feet. It's kind of like reflexy, and a hot towel, spine. It is a total detox completely. It's like an orthopedic adjustment because all the oils go into your spine. It's antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. It's an amazing thing. It really boosts your immune system, and it clears pathogens from your system.
That's awesome. I'd never heard of that
Yeah.
before.
It's a super high vibe because back in, old times, oils, they're plants. It's
Hmm.
plant medicine. And that was the medicine that they had, were plants. And so this is what you do in raindrop therapy.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And I love the holistic type of, because I mean, I wasn't an RN, but for a minute I was a medical assistant. So for me, it was kind of like watching the patients come in with one ailment and they gave them a pill for it that caused three or four different additional ailments. So it's it's
Right.
it's constant. So I love the holistic type of thing there. What do you do to stay connected to your guides, or are you like me, they just constantly talk to you?
Yeah. Well, that's just a blessing. It's funny that you bring that up right now because, I've been working as an intuitive healer for going on 10 years now. And I always have like different curiosities and different things I want to study and get inspired. And right now it's the guides. So it's funny that you asked me that. But everything's synchronistic, right? In spirit.
Absolutely.
Um, so so what's the question again? How do I connect with them?
How do you connect with them, or are you
Yes.
always listening?
Yeah, right. So I how I connect with them in the past, how I've connected with them is going into meditation. And then just heightening my vibe and then channeling. Pretty much that's how I connected with them. But it's changing now. And I do talk to them all the time out loud anyway. It's a normal thing, but sometimes more than others, you know? But now I'm really, every morning, I have a ritual where I wake up and I say, "Good morning, guides and angels and God. Thank you for surprising me today. I can't wait to see what my surprise is." And then I'll just ask for help out loud with certain things, anything. And, things just happen. Um, but there's other times where I have felt my angels. I think it's pretty much my angels that I have felt who are guides and messengers. But they could have been guides, I'm not totally sure. But when I'm just walking around, I'll feel like angels in my hair. I feel like someone's really close with just a warm, beautiful energy, and they're playing with my scalp hair. And it's just this warm wash of energy, and I live for that. That's my favorite. I would I'm asking them right now to make me feel that all the time. It's the best feeling.
I love it. I love it. And
Yeah.
I physically feel my guides when they're close. Like when I'm going to do a reading, one of the key ways that I know that they're there when I'm praying, is I describe it like I'm sitting on the edge of a swimming pool, and you know how you pull your feet back and forth and you can feel
Yeah.
the water on your legs. That's the sensation that I get on the back of my legs. And then I get the tingles like up my neck, and I'm like, okay, we're on. So
That is
so
the absolute freaking best. And I'm chilling right now when I hear that from you because I love that. And that's like your sign that you're just about to start, right?
yep, it is. It's like, okay, we're on. I got you. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
is that is my sign. So let's see the mediumship part. I love that you're embracing that,
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
that's just another way to connect. And a lot of people, like, what do you think the difference is between like psychic versus mediumship?
That's
Because
such a
I've
good
heard all kinds of things.
No, that's such a great question because they are different. And so really the psychic is, you're just like when I get a name, I can just get a name and meditate on pray for this person and then just ask what's in their highest good and literally get downloads of information, right? And in that, it's psychic data because I'm reading their aura. I'm doing remote viewing on them. I'm using my clairsentience, my clear feeling, my clairvoyance, my clear seeing, my clairaudient, my clear hearing, and then also, which is one of my biggest gifts, is clear cognizance, where I just know, right? And
Right.
it's all of those gifts together, and all of a sudden, like it just like I just start dictating all of those senses down with downloads, and they're always spot on. You know what I mean? And so that's the psychic information is like, just those the hits that you're getting when you're just kind of like looking into their aura, right? And that psychic information's in their energy field, right? But mediumship is actually, I think, completely different. There's some psychic information that goes into being a medium, but really, it's just getting out of the way. It's being a channel of love and peace and healing with that intention through your heart for the sitter, and just literally completely surrendering and letting go and just having the highest intention for your sitter to connect with the feeling of their loved one and messages. So, it's more of a feeling of, okay, here's the sitter, and it wouldn't happen without the sitter. And here's me in the middle, and then there's spirit above me. So I'm quite literally, you can visualize that I'm the medium person in between, right?
Yes.
And so I just open up and go blank, and just, it's really what happens is spirit on the other side, the loved one of the sitter, is doing all the work. And so I'm completely off the hook, and I just wait to have an awareness or notice something in my feeling, in my clear hearing, or in my vision, or just in my knowing. And I just speak out um, actual evidence that I'm getting, right? And so
Yes.
it's not like I'm just reporting like fragments of little snapshots, to my sitter, and I don't want to talk to them because then I'll lose my connection. I'll lose my link with the one that's passed over. But really the most important piece for me is that's so magical is being able to feel their personality, to be able to feel their energy, the one people that have passed.
Yes. And you know what? One of my favorite things, I just said this today during a reading. One of my favorite things is there was a husband who had crossed over and his wife was there. They always let me feel the love that they have. And it's
It makes you
overwhelming
cry.
sometimes. Yes, I just start welling up and it's just like so intense. And I love that. But for me, mediumship is very similar, like the same thing. I have to get out of my way. And it's almost like that I can feel them coming closer and closer, and I have to allow them to like mesh with my auric field, and I have
Merge.
to
Yeah.
allow them to use me like the microphone or show me, feel me,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I love that your description is very similar to mine. So thank you for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we're basically the storytellers, you know? I
Yes.
mean, and so you just have to let go. And the most cockamamie things you think aren't anything, that's the thing is if you're in your thinking mind, you would ruin it, because you're
Yes.
just getting snapshots of really random stuff. But yet it wouldn't make sense to you if you were just there, but you've got the sitter who that means everything to, and then
Right.
they
And
tell
they
the
totally
story.
understand it. Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. I love those moments that, there are things that I just blurt out and, they like you said, they're so random and they're like crying. And one of my favorite ones I'm going to tell you is I did a reading and I said, I don't know why, but I have to tell you, I'm seeing fried bologna. This woman was crying and she's like, yes. And she kind of went on and told me the story behind it. But the most random of all things,
Oh, that's
they're
so
the
random.
things that are just so gonna hold them right there. They know this is them. And that's the evidence and
Right.
the
The evidence.
clarity that that is their loved one. I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
you know what's so really cool to watch is it's like we're just the interpreters. We're just the microphone, right?
Yes.
And the mouthpiece. And so like to speak these things out almost like in snapshots, and then to watch the sitter put it all together and tell you a story, but that story is coming through from the loved one that has passed through to me. I'm speaking it out loud, but then the sitter is telling the story.
About how it all connects and how it makes the
Yes,
perfect sense. And it's amazing. I agree. That's just beautiful to me.
it is
So,
beautiful.
yeah, it's amazing.
It's
So,
actually such an incredible honor.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And I love how integrity plays a very big part in who you are and your background. And let me just tell you, that comes through so solidly to me, and I can feel your energy. And when I met you, first thing I said to you is, I feel your energy because I really can. You are amazing. You're a beautiful light. I am so excited you are here where you're
Aw.
supposed to be. And I wanted to ask you one final question. Do you have any tips, or anything, any nuggets of information that you would like to give those out there who are opening up, who feel like maybe they're going kind of bonkers, like, oh my gosh, there's all this information coming. What would you tell someone just starting out?
Absolutely. That everything's normal, and that they're not going crazy, and that they're waking up to their true selves, and to normalize everything and not try to change anything, but just love it, you know, and just honor the process that you're going through because God's got your back. and God has this, your very highest good in mind. And so when you're having moods, you're having ups and downs, you're having breakthroughs, like those need to happen in your energy in order to bring you to where you're supposed to be. And so my advice would be to open up and see everything. It's like your guides are constantly wanting to talk to you, you know? I mean, when I started opening up and seeing 444, that meant the angels. That meant I was supposed to work with the angels. They were with me all the time. And then the ascended masters, the 333, and just learning different signs and symbols, you know, like I'd be walking and talking about the angels and a feather would fall right in front of me, and it's just like magical stuff. It's like the unseen world is so active and so for us that if we knew and we could see our team and all of this magic that all of these spirit guides are running around to try to help us with, we would never feel alone ever again.
That's right, because we really are never alone, ever. And it's amazing and it's beautiful. And even loved ones that cross, they're still with us, they're still guiding us, they're still around us. So
Yes.
I just think that that's amazing. And Terese, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the honor and privilege of being able to interview you. And I'm sure we will be working together in some capacity again. So I just want to tell you thank you so much, and I appreciate you. And I want to thank all of the people watching. And again, this is Medium Adelita's How to Medium Well with Terese. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.